Oh, God. Repeat next seat.
That's not fair. Linda and I go way back to Battle Hill School, and Linda
I was his prom date.
was my 9th grade prom date. And I got her a wristlet corsage, and we had this big party at my house in this basement, which I look back on now and I've seen, and it's a freaking cave. But thank you, and I love you.
If I could have everybody's attention just for a moment. Everybody, even the people over by the bar, can you hold it down, please, just for a moment. Hold it down back there, please. Classmates and
While we're young.
fellow alumni, as we gather together here this evening, 50 years after graduation, we want to take just a moment to remember and reflect that many of our fellow classmates could not be here this evening. Classmates that we call our sleeping tigers. More than 60 of our classmates, and probably a few more, have passed away since we graduated high school. And additionally, as you might imagine, quite a few of our teachers and administrators are no longer with us. For our classmates, you may have seen, we have a list on the easel of the sleeping tigers. Also, in the past year, I want to mention that a number of the faculty that we knew and that were dear to the high school have also passed away. John Zalento, who was an assistant principal, John Kikandis, who taught at both Highlands and then the high school, Bob Stanley, who was a languages teacher and then a guidance counselor, Guy Matthews, who was a guidance counselor and a coach, and then just 8 days ago on October 17th, Dean Laus passed away at the age of 79. Dean Laus, of course, was a former student at White Plains High School. He quarterbacked 3 undefeated football teams in the 1950s. He went on to become an all-star at Yale University, and then eventually became a social studies teacher and coach at White Plains High School. So at this time, I'd like to invite everyone to please join together, remember, and reflect with a moment of silence together for our sleeping tigers. Thank you, everybody. Before I call on the next speaker, I just want to convey 2 very brief messages from 2 former phys ed teachers and coaches who are still very vibrant, who sent notes to me. Our committee invited a number of faculty to be our guests this morning at the breakfast at White Plains High School. Harry Jefferson was there, and Tish Fontanella. But 2 faculty members couldn't be there. First, from Fred Woodward, who lives in New Hampshire, who was coach of White Plains' very successful soccer team for quite a few years, sent this note that said, "Dear Chuck, thank you for the very kind invitation. Sorry I will not be able to attend. Please extend my regards to all those who are there from the class of 1964. I remember our years together very fondly. Sincerely, Coach Woody." And next, from George Perry, coached football, wrestling, and baseball, and he lives in Westchester. His note said, Chuck, the 1960s were very interesting times. But for me, I remember teaching and coaching back then as good times. I remember many of the students and athletes I had, particularly from your graduating class. The class of 1964 was a great class with really good people. Please send everyone my best. Sincerely, Jordan Ferry. Two very nice notes that I just wanted to pass along. We have one more individual to say something, and then we're going to have a raffle. I want to call up Mario Bruni. Some of you who still live in the area may know Bruni and Campisi. That's a little plug for a heating and an air conditioning company based in Ellsworth. And Mario, they start to do my full checkup. If you can get me a discount, please. Also, Mario happens to be a member here at Westchester Hills Golf Club. We just happen to be doing our dinner here. Wow, what a coincidence. Mario Bruni. Mario.
Thank you. I am not a member of Westchester Hills. Let's start off with that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We wanted to get, there's some tigers that have come from some very long distances. And we felt that it would be appropriate for us to get something meaningful for them, or at least something that they could utilize for the long trip that they must take to get home. So we've decided to honor the top 3 who traveled the furthest. And I'm going to do it in ascending order. The first person, and I'm sorry I didn't get to see him or speak to him yet this evening. The first person came, and I hope he's here. Larry Ryan, are you here? I'm here. All right. There you go. Don't get up yet. I just said you're here. Where are you from, Mount Vernon? I haven't had an opportunity to speak to Larry this evening or this weekend. However, from what I understand, he is single-handedly responsible for all armed forces in the Middle East. He is single-handedly built and provisioned all the supplies and the bases for armed forces in the Middle East. No, I'm just kidding. But I understand he is with the Corps of Engineers, am I correct?
That's correct.
And I understand he came from Qatar?
Qatar, yes.
And he is responsible for the base that handles our drones and handles our planes that handle the no-fly zones, correct?
Well, we do a few different things. ISIS attacks.
In any case, he's one of our big guys out in the Middle East. He's doing. So to provide him with something appropriate for the ride home, well, we've gotten him a notebook that he can write down his notes on his travels. We've gotten him since you can't bring large bottles of booze, you're limited to something under 4 ounces when you go out. And it has to be in a Ziploc bag. We've gotten him some vodka in small bottles in a Ziploc bag.
I'll have to drink him on a flight because there's no liquor in Qatar.
And because it's a long flight and he has to keep himself busy on that flight, we felt something appropriate to read for him. We got him a copy of War and Peace. He should have the time on the flight to read that.
That's on my reading list. All right, Mario. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming so far.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Okay. The second person has also traveled a very long way. I have to read her name because it's very long. We know her as Jerry Blouston. But I believe it's Terry Tagami, is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll tell you a little story about Jerry. And I told her this earlier, and I hadn't told her this in 50 years.
Yeah, he had a crush on you.
First or second day in high school, I was a 15-year-old with a great deal of testosterone running through my body. And I met a guy, his name was John Fitzgerald, Fitz, the ambulance chaser. And he and I were walking down past the gymnasium. I was on my way to the football field to talk to the football team. I don't know what Fitz was doing. And we walked past the gym and the double doors were open. And there was this heavenly body. Twirling the baton, wearing short shorts. And I swear I thought I saw Jesus. Fitz and I just stopped in our tracks, our jaws dropped, our tongues hit our belts, and we just stared at her. I never ever spoke to her, never ever approached her, but she was my first crush in high school.
You told this story 5 times about 5 different women this weekend. Break out from 2 days, he told a story about 5 different women.
Jerry, not to take it to heart, I fell in love the next day as well. And I did so on successive days. But Jerry's come all the way from Japan. Come on up, Jerry.
Help me out, please, at my age. Here we go.
Looking is still very good. And we've gotten for her a notebook as well. You can write my story down here. We've gotten her as well some bottles of vodka for the trip. And we thought we'd get you something appropriate to take up your time on the plane. We got you a DVD of Kung Fu Panda. Thanks for coming so far. Now, our last person happens to be a very good friend of mine. I've known him for many years. I knew him for many years after college and during college.
And I'm willing to admit it.
And I have to admit it, unfortunately. Ernie Matson. Stay there. Sit, stay. Ernie came from Guam.
Where?
Guam. It's out in the middle of the
He
Pacific.
was sentenced to Guam for 50 years.
Ernie is a marine biologist. He worked at the University of the Pacific in Guam for many years. Recently